Have you ever wondered how your favorite guitarists create those amazing solos and catchy riffs? What if I told you that understanding music theory could unlock a whole new world of possibilities for your guitar playing, allowing you the ability to play like the greats? Over the next several minutes, I will share with you the mind-blowing secrets and knowledge that can take your playing from this to this. But first, let's address a common question. How can we begin to understand music theory on the guitar? We have to begin with the most basic building blocks and build from there. The most basic thing that you want to understand is the musical alphabet. The musical alphabet is made up of 12 notes, 7 natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and 5 other notes called sharps or flats, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. These can also be called A flat, B flat, D flat, E flat, and G flat. Notice how there is no B sharp or E sharp. The musical alphabet can be observed on the guitar like this. It looks confusing, but that's just the same 12 notes repeating and offset on each string depending what the string is tuned to. Now you might be wondering, how can we make sense of all these notes and visualize them on the fretboard? Introducing intervals. Understanding intervals will help you to make sense of all those notes and how they relate to one another. Intervals are the system that we use to measure the distance from one note to another. The most basic intervals are a half step, 1 fret, and a whole step, 2 frets. There are many intervals to learn, however the most important ones are a half step, whole step, minor third, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, and an octave. How can intervals transform your guitar playing, you ask? Understanding intervals will allow you to make the connection between hearing notes and being able to pinpoint how far they are from each other. This is super helpful, especially if you want to transcribe songs, riffs, and melodies. They will also help you to visualize the content of what you're playing by allowing you to recognize patterns within the songs, riffs, melodies, and chords. Now there's something profound that you should know about music theory, which is that there's a way to essentially eliminate wrong notes from the picture. Imagine if we remove 5 of the 12 notes from our musical alphabet and only leave the ones that are useful. This is where scales come into play. They tell us what notes we should use and which notes to avoid. The 2 most foundational scales are the major scale and the minor scale. The major scale is a sequence of 7 notes or scale degrees within a specific interval pattern of whole and half steps between them. It's the foundation of music theory, and it's used for creating melodies, chord construction, diatonic harmony, improvisation, and more. To play a major scale on the guitar, you need to learn the corresponding patterns and positions on the fretboard. The major scale is often described as having a happy or a bright sound. The minor scale, or natural minor scale, is also a sequence of 7 notes or scale degrees, but has a different interval pattern of whole and half steps compared to the major scale. The minor scale consists of a minor third, minor sixth, and minor seventh intervals compared to the major scale. This scale is commonly used in rock music and often described as having a sad or a dark sound. To play a minor scale on the guitar, you need to learn these patterns and positions on the fretboard, similar to the major scale. Let's compare the C major and C minor scales so that we can see the difference between scale degrees and intervals. The C major scale consists of the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C again. And the C minor scale consists of the notes C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, and then another C. This covers playing single notes, melodies, and riffs, but what about when we play chords? Chords are one of the most essential things that we play as guitarists, but how can we understand them beyond their simple shapes on the neck? Chord construction involves understanding how chords are built from intervals. The most basic types of chords are major and minor triads. A triad is a chord built from 3 notes. They are constructed in intervals of major or minor thirds and perfect fifths. There are many types of chords that can be played on the guitar, and they can be grouped into different categories. Some of the most common chord types include major chords. These chords consist of a root, a major third, and a perfect fifth. They are often described as having a happy or a bright sound. Examples include C major and G major. Minor chords. These chords consist of a root, minor third, and a perfect fifth. They are often described as having a sad or a dark sound. Examples include A minor and E minor. Power chords, also known as fifth chords. These chords consist of a root and a perfect fifth, and they are commonly used in rock, punk, and metal music. Examples include G5, C5, and D5. The confusion comes when guitarists try to analyze our basic chord shapes. The reason is that the notes of the chord that we play on the guitar aren't always stacked in the order of root, third, and fifth. For example, this E major chord is built root, fifth, root, major third, fifth, and another root. The bottom line is that it doesn't matter how the notes are arranged as long as each note interval is represented in the chord. This is why understanding intervals is so helpful with chords. It helps us to see the relationship between the notes, allowing us to make sense and even manipulate the chord to make different qualities. For example, if the only difference between a major and a minor triad is the minor third interval, then we should just be able to lower the major third 1/2 step or 1 fret to make it a minor chord. By learning and mastering various chord shapes and positions, you can unlock a wide range of sound and musical possibilities. Have you ever wondered why certain chords occur together frequently in certain songs, while other chords rarely appear? This cryptic and strange symbol is the answer to that mystery. And what if I told you that understanding this would completely unveil the mysteries of music theory? The circle of fifths is a visual representation of the relationship between the notes of the musical alphabet, which is the foundation of Western music. It's a circular diagram that organizes musical keys or major scales by placing the most closely related keys next to one another. Each consecutive key gains 1 sharp when moving clockwise or 1 flat when moving counterclockwise. The distance between each key is a perfect fifth, hence the name circle of fifths. The circle of fifths is an essential tool for understanding the relationship between musical keys, scales, and chords. It allows musicians and composers to identify how many sharps and flats are in each key and how each key is related to one another. It essentially tells us what notes and chords belong together. In the circle of fifths, each station represents a note, a chord, and a key. For example, the key of C major is placed at the top of the diagram because it requires no sharps or flats. As you move clockwise around the circle, each key is built an interval of a perfect fifth from the one that came before it, and each clockwise step adds 1 more sharp to the key signature. Here's how you can start playing the circle of fifths on the guitar. Start at the top of the circle and play the C major scale. Now go up a string and play the G major scale. Now jump back down a string and go up 2 frets and play the D major scale. Now go up a string and play the A major scale. It will continue to follow this pattern until you reach the starting root note C sharp. To play the flat keys, let's first play F major, which is the 8th fret on the 5th string. Next, go up a string and down 2 frets and play B flat major. Now go down a string and play E flat major. Now go up a string and down 2 frets and play A flat major. Now go down a string and play D flat major. Keep following this pattern until you get to C flat. C flat, you say? That's right. There actually is a C flat, but that's a topic for a different video. As we've explored the fascinating world of music theory and its application to the guitar, we've uncovered the secrets behind the musical alphabet, intervals, scales, chords, and the circle of fifths. But this is just the beginning. The more you delve into music theory, the more you'll discover the hidden connections and patterns that will not only enhance your understanding of the guitar, but also unlock your creativity and musical expression. Now you might be thinking, hey, Jimi Hendrix never learned about music theory and he was an amazing guitar player. Some people are so talented and work so hard that they don't need an in-depth explanation for what is possible. For the rest of us, we need to use every tool at our disposal to make sense of this instrument. So, are you ready to embark on this exciting journey of musical discovery? As you continue to explore and expand your understanding of music theory, you'll find that the guitar becomes more of an extension of your own voice, allowing you to express your deepest emotions and connect with your audience on a whole new level. Remember, the universe of music theory is vast and ever-expanding. Embrace the challenge and let your curiosity guide you to new horizons. And this next video will help you to explore even further.